What up? What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? It's Dion Robinson, one half of Meet the Robinsons here. My wife is not here with me, but I actually wanted to do this video on my own to surprise her and post it so she can take a look at it. But what I'd like to do today is take you guys around to where my wife and I met and where our love started at. Because like I told you, we knew each other about almost 4 years now. Before we've known each other almost 4 years, but we knew each other 3 years before I actually even had the courage to say a word to her. So it was pretty cool. But it all happened down here in this little area called downtown Roseville, where we met and our love began. So we actually met at a couple of the bars here, 2 different situations, and I actually proposed to her down here as well, which was the best day of my life, right? So I know right now we haven't given you guys much funny content. That is going to come, I promise you, because our life is pretty funny, just rolling around as is. When we start rolling our cameras and doing that quite a bit, you'll start to see a lot of funniness going on. But we actually just want to give you guys an idea of who we are and our background and where we come from, right? And the main goal, although we really want to make you guys laugh, the main goal of this page is really to create healthy relationships and help people get to healthy relationships, because my wife and I have both come from dysfunctional relationships, both being our fault, right? And we'll get to that in terms of where we've been in our past as opposed to where we are now later in some of our other videos. But just know that she's been through trauma. I've been through trauma. Some of my trauma self-inflicted, obviously, right? As a man, you got to be able to admit that. But now we're at a spot where, for me especially, this is the best husband, the best father, the best person that I've ever been in my life at 43 years of age, going through all this, the mess that I've been through, right? I've made a decision, a conscious decision, that I'm the leader and I'm the man, and I'm gonna make this work and make this and do this the right way, not only for my wife, but for my children as well, so they can see a good example of what a dad and a husband is supposed to be and how you're supposed to love on a woman, right? So today we're going to take you through, and I'm actually approaching it right now, is downtown Roseville. So I'm gonna park and get out and show you guys some of the bars, the 2 primary bars that we met, right? The first one is called the Owl Club, and I tell this story a little bit during our last video, how we met. She came into this bar called the Owl Club, and she happened to be by herself. I was with one of my best friends named Bobby Jackson, who you guys probably know, 6th Man of the Year. The bar's not open, but we'll go in front of it so you can take a look at it. But it was pretty cool because she came in by herself, and she was always with the crowd. I hadn't seen her so many times before, and she was always with the crowd. So this time she led in by herself because it was early in the night. So I guess maybe her friends are trailing her, she's gonna meet them or whatever it may be. So it gave me an opportunity where she didn't have a circle of people around her to actually go talk to her. So I went up to her, I talked to her, and got an opportunity to buy her a drink, and things were going really well, so I thought, right? And a couple minutes, she left and came back a couple minutes later, and like, as we described in the last video, she didn't want another drink. And this had everything to do with one of the bouncers there, who actually was in love with my wife, right? So he hated on me pretty much, is what that came down to. We found out later on in life that he hated on it and tried to keep us away from each other. He actually sees us out now, not very happy about that. But anyway, so this time I met her at the Owl Club. We didn't really get a chance to connect. We spoke for about 10 minutes maybe before she got rid of me. And hey, fate had it. We ended up meeting later on. I'll show you where we met, because it's only next door where I actually met her, so it was pretty cool. But this is, I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see it. This downtown area. It's called the Owl Club. Pretty cool. It says it's open right now, but I really doubt that it is. But pretty cool. It's a little dive bar, a little hole in the wall. Our buddy actually owns the bar. You can take a look in there, but it's just small, right in the entranceway. Like I said, we didn't hit it off that time, and that was probably about 3 years ago, right? So fast forward a couple years, and I've seen her throughout the years. And fast forward though, January 2nd of last year, she comes into this bar. And this bar is called the Trocadero, which is downtown Roseville as well. She comes in here, and it's on a Sunday. It's after New Year. She's still a little intoxicated, as well as I am. It's closed as well too, but pretty cool little situation. It's a pretty cool bar. We know everybody here, the owners and stuff, so we tend to come here a lot. But she comes in and she has her friends, and to me, at this point, I'm saying, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to ask her for her phone number, ask her for a drink, and see what she says. Asked her for a drink. She said no, but she gave me her phone number. And you guys know the story about me taking her phone number down incorrectly and all that jazz, right? So she gave it to me incorrectly. I didn't take it down. I know that. But anyway, sometimes the woman's got to be right? So I get that. So fast forward, as we told you guys in how we met. We met down here, downtown Roseville. This is responsible for helping me find the love of my life and my best friend now. So I'm very fortunate about this area right here. You would never even imagine that you find the love of your life in this little small kind of downtown little spot, right? But I did. Thank you, Roseville. I appreciate you, baby, producing my baby for me. So now, you know, we talked about how we went on our first dates and all this stuff, and proposed to her 24 days later. So now I'm going to take you to the spot, which is not too far from here, of where I proposed to my wife. And it sucks too, because my initial proposal was going to be in San Diego. We had tickets to go to San Diego, and everything was set for a trip. And I actually had a beachfront proposal. They were going to be ready for me. It was going to be a pretty cool situation. And we ended up having to cancel that trip at the last minute because my wife had no babysitters for her kids. They gave up on her in the last minute, so I had to cancel that. And you guys will get to know me. I'm the type of person that when I want something, I want something. Like, I want to go get it. I want it to happen. I don't want to wait. So I wanted to propose. I had this ring in my pocket. I was itching, and I knew it was fate because it only took me one day, like 20 minutes to find the ring. And she absolutely loves her ring, which a lot of people on TikTok said they've loved it. But took me 20 minutes to find her ring, which was on a Thursday. Got the ring, was ready for it, was in my pocket. We were about to fly away on Friday. Found out Friday morning we couldn't go. So I said, you know what, I can't do this. You know, me and her, a couple friends, we went to dinner. And this thing was just burning a hole in my pocket, guys. And I'll tell you, it was burning a hole in my pocket. Like, I thought she knew she was on to something. I thought she might know. I thought she might figure out. And I wanted this to be a total surprise. So what happened is we go to dinner. And I tell her, as we get in the car, as we go into a bar right back downtown Roseville, I tell her, I said, hey, I got something really important to talk to you about. And I want to talk to you before we get to the bar in front of everybody, because it's really important to me. And I want you to actually hear me without people drinking and yelling in the background. So she was like nervous, like, what the hell is going on? What is he trying to talk to me about? And somehow I kept a straight face and didn't give it up. And somehow she had no clue what the hell I was trying to do. Even though I'd asked her probably like over 100 times in the last 20 days, like, hey, if I proposed to you, would you marry me? Right? So keep in mind that the scene that we're going to, it looked a lot prettier at the time because it was around New Year's and Christmas, and they still had their decorations and up. And so this was a last minute kind of Hail Mary type of decision in terms of how I proposed. But I always knew that they had this little area where they had Christmas lights, and it looked really pretty. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop right here, right before we get here. It's on the way towards where we're going, so she can't really catch on to what I'm trying to do. So what I do is I pull up and say, hey, I need to talk to you. Let's talk. And right here seems to be a very, very good spot. So I'm gonna pull up to that spot, and it happens to be that there is a parking spot right there. No, there's a handicap parking spot, so that sucks. Let me go around. Well, let me just no, I don't want to do that because I ain't trying to get no handicap ticket. That's ridiculous. So let me find a spot here, guys, which is right here. But it's in front of it's called the Vernon Street Town Center. Go ahead, buddy. And it's just really cool opportunity. I told you I got the opportunity we're going to be in delivery parking, so I got to hurry up. But I just want to show you guys this real quick. It's going to be a quick one. All right. So I pull over here, park right in front, right, and I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like right now. But imagine this all lit up and beautiful. You know what I mean? So you take a look at it, right? It's pretty cool grounds, but it has Christmas trees and decorations and all kinds of stuff. Usually here during Christmas and New Year's, so it made it look a lot prettier, right? And this was my only option since I wasn't gonna do my San Diego beach proposal anymore, and so I had to improvise. You know what I mean? One thing I did know I wanted to marry this woman, and I wanted to do it I wanted to propose to her sooner than later. And since my trips to San Diego were ruined, I had no choice, right? So I sat her down right over here. And again, there was a nice tree right there where this thing sits. She sat down right here. It was kind of cold outside, and she had a pretty dress on. So we sat right here, and see the music playing in the background? That music wasn't playing in the background. I wish it would have been. That would have been cool. So I sat her down right here, talked to her, and just told her a nice little story. I'm pretty good with words, so I told her a nice little story about how she was the best thing that ever came in my life. I knew God put us in each other's life for a reason, and that I really wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. It went a lot longer than that, but I'm not gonna bore you guys with those details. And then I got on one knee, and that's when she started realizing this is real. Got on one knee right here, and I proposed to her again. It was a beautiful backdrop, so don't imagine that, right? Christmas trees, lights everywhere. Proposed to her and said, will you make me the happiest man and spend the rest of your life with me? And she kind of, what's that called? Chuckled up, not chuckled up, but cried up a little bit and teared up a little bit. And she said yes. And I said, okay, baby, that's what I'm talking about. So I gave her a big old hug and kiss. And then she began to say, she started getting upset. And I was like, well, baby, we're supposed to be happy. What's going on? She's like, I know, but because of what I've been through in my past, I really wanted this to be done the right way, which is I wanted my parents to know that I was going to get married and that was going to happen. And so me being old school and gentleman as well, she didn't know this, but I had already contacted her parents probably like a week or two ago and spoke to them through Facebook. And so they already gave me their blessing and knew that I was doing this. So she got in the car and called them and began tearing up and crying. And, it was just a great, sometimes it's not all about the glamour and glitz of everything, right? I was going to do this big old proposal in San Diego on the beach and craziness. And this ended up being really intimate and really cool for both of us and a really, really great experience. So that's a lesson learned, right? It's not always about how much money you make and how big the ring is and what you can do. Sometimes it's just about doing things the right way and making sure that people are, they feel loved. And that's what I did, what I like to think I did. And you'll get some comments from my wife, I'm sure, from this video when she takes a look at it and sees it for the first time, just like you guys. But that's how we met, man. That's how we went around, and it was pretty crazy. Like I said, I've loved this woman. I knew I would love this woman from the moment I first saw her. She just had this glow about her. Beautiful eyes, beautiful personality, and a beautiful purpose. She just happens to be beautiful on the outside, but she is a beautiful person on the inside, right? She's a fighter, don't get me wrong. But all women are. All strong women are fighters, and they had to, a lot of these men have, including myself, have put women through a lot of mess, and now it's time for us as men to step up as leaders and show these women what it means to be treated like a woman, especially for our daughters and for the people moving forward, because we're all we got, man. We got to make sure that we do this the right way and that we show everybody else how to have healthy relationships, right? What does healthy arguments look like? What does healthy raising kids healthy looks like? All these things that we don't really pay attention to in society, we just do it and expect our social media and things to raise our kids. That's why I got into this relationship. I want my kids to see beautiful love. I want my kids to see a positive father who's healthy, who handles his problems healthy. And that's the way that we're going to do things. And I want you guys to come on. We want you guys to come on this journey with us. And we really, really look forward to sharing with you. We're going to do everything. It's not just going to be the good times and the laughing, but you'll see how we handle our conflict. We'll do a conversation and we'll walk through how we handle our conflict, which I don't know if you know that, but when you do this type of things, it makes you better. It makes your relationship better. And here's the deal, man. If we're all in relationships, which is one of the most important things that you'll do in your life that you don't learn about in school, right? You might as well make this the best thing in your life, right? Because it will be the most important. You'll spend the most time with this person, right? You'll have the most interaction with this person, which means the most opportunity for conflict. So you might as well get it right with this person. And if you get it right with this person, everything else around you will fall into place. I promise you that. So we're going to teach you some things about how to handle these conflicts, and we're going to learn some things because I'm sure people are going to teach us. We're only a year into our marriage, right? But I've done a lot of pre-work over the last 3 or 4 years, understanding who I am as a person and how to handle being in a relationship and making sure that I express my feelings the right way. And so far, we've built an amazing foundation in our marriage where we rarely, we don't argue. We have confrontations and we handle them very well. So very healthy. It didn't start off that way, but we're there after a year. So we're very proud of that. And so I thought this would be a really cool video to show you guys how we met, how I proposed to my wife. And then next, it's a little bit further away, but I wish we could have showed you guys our wedding, but we'll post some videos of it so you can see what it looked like. But it was at a beautiful golf course called Granite Bay Golf Course, which my wife put that together really quickly, 6 months. We had about 130 people there, open bar for 3-4 hours. It was a good time. A really nice place to get it done. They actually got our picture up in their lobby now as the wedding that they really, really liked. All the people got involved from the people who worked there. It was pretty cool. But again, meet the Robinsons, man. We hope to go big with this, not because we're looking to make a ton of money. We're going to give, matter of fact, if we do make a ton of money, we're going to give a lot back to people, you know, based on what we've been through to help support those individuals. I grew up a certain way. My wife grew up a certain way. And we want to help as many people as we can, and kids especially, because they're our future, to get to where they need to get to, right? So thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys, man. We love you so much. We really appreciate the followers on TikTok. Hopefully we can translate those followers over to our YouTube page, and we can make this thing big and help a lot of people along the way, man. Peace, love. Robinson's out. My wife will be here later. Tonight's our date night, so my wife and I will probably be making a video to show you how we do our date night every Monday night. I won't spoil it. I'll wait till tonight. Peace out, guys.